Hey guys, it's Sarah and today is BookList Thursday. This is a video series I do with my friend Lindsay over at Lindsay's Little Library, and we bring you a video every single Thursday talking about a list of books or a topic surrounding books that we want to talk about. And this week we are going to talk about tips on how to have a successful readathon. And the reason we're doing this is because we are personally hosting our own readathon, the BookList Readathon, that's going to be taking place April 1st through the 7th, and that's coming up here soon. So we wanted to give you guys some tips for how to be successful, because we've had a lot of people let us know that this is going to be their first readathon that they're participating in. So we were very honored and terrified at the same time, hoping that we do you guys justice. So we thought that since we both do readathons quite often, that we would go ahead and tell you what we have found has been successful for us. I do readathons all the time. I almost do them monthly if I can. If there's something good that I feel like participating in or that I feel like I can be successful in, I try to do that. So these are just some of the things that I have noticed about my own personal success over, the past couple of years when I've been doing readathons on a consistent basis. So we are going to share that with you today. My biggest tip that has helped me is that I plan for this readathon. I write it in my planner. I write down the week where it's going to be taking place. I try to not schedule appointments during that week if I can't absolutely help it. I try to get a lot of things done the week before so that I don't have to do them during that week. And just any little thing that you can get done ahead of when this readathon is going to be taking place, the better, because you want to try to keep your schedule as clear as possible. Now, is that going to help people who work full-time? No. Lindsay works full-time. So that's something that she's going to have to take into consideration when she does the readathon. She has to remember that she's working full-time, so she can't spend 8 hours a day, reading. I do have the luxury of not working outside the home right now, so I have a little bit more free time, but I still have other things that I have to do. I have 2 kids, they have activities, we have stuff that we have to do. I'm in school right now. So, things like that, anything that I can get done ahead of time, I'm going to make sure that I do that for the readathon in preparation for it. So you can only do what you can, obviously, but anything that you really can do, it would be really helpful to get that done ahead of time, or anything that can wait. Do you have something that you need to do, but it can wait until after the readathon's over? Then save it. Don't stress out about trying to get it done beforehand. That type of stuff. Tip number 2 is to pick a realistic TBR for yourself. Pick as many books that is realistic for you, and it's not going to be the same for everybody else. I have seen people read 7 or 8 books average on a readathon week. I've seen people read 1 or 2, and that's really good for them. It depends on your speed of reading. It depends on what you're picking for your TBR. If you only read 1 book, but it's a 500-page book, that's a success for you, and that's fantastic. Do you want to read 8 books, but they're all under 200 pages? Great. The point usually of readathons is to read as many books as you can. So that's usually the type of goal, but you make whatever goal and books is going to fit into your reading, and it's going to fit into your plans for yourself, because you're the one doing this, right? We did pick 5 challenges for this readathon. My average, if I have a really, really good readathon, it's 4 to 5 books, and that's really good. I've also had readathons where I read 1 or 2. It just depends. So, my goal this time is going to be to read 5 books, and we're just going to see how it goes. But you need to pick something that is realistic for you. Don't pick something that is just way overwhelming and you're just not going to get to. It's not going to be realistic, because then you're not going to be successful. Tip number 3 is to pick shorter books if you can. I really find that I'm successful when I pick shorter books for readathons, because they don't take me as long to get through. Sometimes I can read them in a day, which is, really great. But I'll show you some examples of some shorter books that I have on my shelves. So I would personally consider a short book anything under 350 pages, or even under 300 if you can. One of those that I have is Peony in Love by Lisa C. And this is 280 pages, so not very long. And it's definitely something that you can kind of get through a little bit quicker. And you can also pick a shorter book that's in your favorite genre, which really helps, because you know that it's going to be something you're really, really interested in, that you're going to love. And it's a shorter book as well, so you're probably going to get through it a little bit faster. For me, something like that would be Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. This is 252 pages, so it's very short, and it is a thriller book. So that's going to be something that just keeps me interested. Another way you could go is to pick some middle grade, because middle grade books tend to go really fast. You can tend to absorb them a lot faster, and they don't tend to be as long. One example of that is The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne, and this is 216 pages. Let me double check that. Yes, 216 pages. So very, very short. And it is a middle grade, so it would go pretty quickly. You could also go even younger than middle grade and pick up something like Charlotte's Web. This is only 184 pages, and it's a classic. You probably already know the story, and just would definitely give you that nostalgia. And if it's something that you've been wanting to pick up and reread again at some point in your life, like now would be a great time to do that. Then I have two more extremely, extremely short books. This first one here is by James Baldwin, and this one is only 106 pages, you guys. But this is The Fire Next Time, and so incredibly short. But it's a full, it's a full work, and as you can see, the margins are really large as well. The type isn't huge, but it's not teeny tiny either. So I think this is something that would go really quickly. You just also go with something like a novella, something that is a companion novel to a book that you have really liked, and it's just, one little extra snippet of it. For that, I have Last Breath by Karen Slaughter, and this is a novella that goes along with The Good Daughter, and this would be great to use, and this is only a little over 100 pages as well. So this would go really, really quickly. Tip number 4 is to pick books that you're really excited about, because if you pick a book that you're just kind of on the fence, or you're not sure if you're going to like it or not, or whatever, you're not going to feel motivated to pick it up. So pick things from your favorite genres, pick things that you've heard so much about and you're so excited to read, pick things that you just purchased when you still kind of have that new book, euphoria, where you're just so excited to read it because you just picked it up. Pick books like that. Don't pick something that you might feel mediocre on, or you're just not sure. Tip number 5 is when you do sit down to read, give yourself a time limit. I do this a lot. I will sit down, I'll say, okay, I have 2 hours until my kids get home from school. I'm going to read for those full 2 hours as much as I possibly can. Or if I'm not really feeling like reading, which happens, especially during readathons, it can happen to me. There are times where I don't feel like reading, or I feel like I'm pushing myself to read. Give yourself an hour or half an hour, just some sort of time limit where you're saying, okay, I'm just going to sit down. The only thing I need to focus on right now is this book, and we'll go from there. A lot of times I will find that that helps me get going, and I get my momentum, and then I sit and I read for 2 hours without even thinking about it. So if you find yourself feeling a little bit slumpy throughout the week, I would still sit down and try to read, but give yourself a time limit. And then if you reach that time limit and you're still not feeling it, give yourself permission to take a break and go do something else. It's totally fine. And tip number 6 for me is audiobooks. Audiobooks can be my saving grace for readathons a lot, because especially if I have a particular week where I'm doing a readathon, but I'm very busy that week and it's just things I can't avoid, then you can listen to audiobooks while you're driving in your car, which I do consistently. You can listen to audiobooks while you're cooking dinner, while you are doing laundry or doing chores around your house. If you just don't feel like sitting and reading with your eyes, you can read with your ears. And it really, really helps. And especially if you find a really, really good audiobook that keeps you engaged the whole time, it's really fantastic. So audiobooks have been such a blessing for me to help me read more just in general, but also to help enhance some of the books that I'm reading. And I've enjoyed them more because I listen to them on audiobook. And it's a big, big helper for me, especially in readathons. So it's going to help me be more successful in that. If you're new to audiobooks, or you don't have a way that you listen to audiobooks right now, I do have a link down below for Scribd, which is a audiobook provider, I guess you could say. And if you use my link down below and you sign up, then you get a month for free, and it's unlimited. So you can give it a try for a month even and see what you think. And then if after a month you don't want to pay for the service, then you can cancel it and you've been able to listen to for free for a month. But just something to keep in mind, if it's something that you just want to give a try, or you don't have a service yet and you want to give Scribd a try, they have a great, great selection. It's one of the services that I use more. If you don't want to use a service that you pay for as well, you can also check out your library and see what kind of options they have for audiobooks, because most public libraries do have options for audiobooks, and they use their own app for that. So it'll be something you have to go to your library and try to, figure out how to utilize it and use your library card and all that stuff for those. But I use that as well. Okay, guys, those are my main tips for how to be successful in a readathon. I hope that they helped you. I hope that you guys are successful. For those of you who are going to be joining in on our BookList Thursday Readathon happening in April. And make sure you go check out Lindsay's channel today too, because she's going to have some tips and I'm really interested to see what she's going to say because we haven't talked about this beforehand. So I don't know if she'll have the same tips as me or if she's going to have something new to bring. I think she probably will. So I'm excited to see what her tips are. Maybe I'll use some of them. And yeah, that's going to be it for me today. So let me know if you guys have any questions down below. Please let me know if you're going to be participating in BookList Thursday Readathon. And we will see you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.